Hi everyone, my name is Ken. Welcome to This House. Today we are in the University Hills neighborhood of University City in St. Louis, Missouri, exploring a house built in 1939. I want to give a huge shout out to Joe Hostman for opening up the doors here. And of course, we will put the listing description and the link down below in our video description. Let's go see what's inside. Walking in the front door, and let's take a moment to really see this. This is kind of like a little vestibule space. There is a segmented archway that separates the living room from the entry. And on the front door is this little window, so let's go ahead and open this up. And how much more interesting is this than your standard peephole? So we can pass on through here, and now this space really starts to open up. We can notice directly above us, there's a plaster medallion in the center of the room on the ceiling. And there are some other really interesting and unique features. If we turn around, there's a niche with wood shelves next to another segmented arch. And we can continue looking around to see the built-in doorbell and the U-shaped steps that will take you up to the second floor. Now, before we go up there, there's a lot to explore in this house. Back here behind me, next to the hearth, is the sunroom. So let's go peek out here first. Passing through this French door, this takes us into the sunroom. And this is just such a cozy space with so much amazing natural light. Now, the current owners obviously have Hollywood lights strung up to really make this place feel more magical. There are these amazing trefoil arches that case out the windows right here in the front. And if we look up, there is beadboard on the ceiling, and that's just one of those really interesting touches that adds so much to this space just by incorporating these different wood types together. It just makes the sunroom feel a lot more natural. Now, passing out of the sunroom, we're going to walk straight ahead through one of the first segmented arches that we saw, and this is going to take me directly into the dining room. So come on through here. We can see that there are windows on two sides of this room. There's another plaster medallion that hangs directly above the chandelier, and we can just take a moment to really pan around this space. As we make our way out of the dining room, we come to the swinging door, and there's a really curious feature here, and I'm not exactly sure what this is used for. Maybe some of you know, but if you could just let me know down in the comments what this is, I'm very interested to figure this out. So come on through here to the kitchen. This is actually really nice. Of course, it has been updated. These are modern and newer cabinets. And over here, they have this set up like a little wine bar, so you can see the racks from which the glasses are suspended from, which is just a great touch, gives the kitchen more character. And as we pan around the space, there is a little breakfast nook over here, and it has a wonderful window that lets in a lot of natural light. Now, passing out of the kitchen, we come into the hall. Behind me are the steps that go down to the basement. Over to this side is the living room where we first entered the house. Now, come on through here, and this will eventually take us over to the master suite. Before we get there, I want to point out some amazing details. We've probably all been looking at these walls, just assuming that they're plaster. Well, I have a surprise for you. They're actually drywall. So when the current owners bought this house, it was advertised as a gut rehab, and they came in and they reconstructed everything using drywall. So just look at these fine details here. Off to this side are some magnificent built-ins, so we can take a closer look at these as well, and this is of course original to the house. Now, moving along, we come to a barrel vaulted ceiling above us, and this leads us straight into the powder room, so let's just go ahead and take a peek in here. There's a pedestal sink, there's a small window, and there's just a lot of natural light that floods this space. Passing finally into the owner's suite, this space has been opened up and expanded. So originally there were 2 bedrooms here, and it was divided by this section. So when the current owners came in here to renovate, they decided to continue on the theme of these built-in niches with the wooden shelves and incorporate them into the addition of the owner's suite. Over here is the master closet, and it's actually pretty large, but they have some things in there, so we're not actually going to check that out today. Now, off to this side is the owner's bathroom, so come on in here. And of course, this is all brand new, what we're about to see. There's a double vanity here with individual mirrors hung above it, and then the lights. There's a toilet, and then there is a jacuzzi tub that also has a shower attached to it. So we can just kind of take a moment to see all of this. Passing out of the master bedroom, we're now going to make our way through this hall and we're going to head upstairs. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that is the path down to the basement, and we will see that in a moment. It's really interesting, so definitely stick around until we go down there. Now, coming through here, this is the staircase that we first saw in the living room. And of course, there are these amazing wrought iron spindles here, and we can take a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship. So as we pass up, we come to these two sets of landings, and there are intersecting barrel vaults above us. So if we look at the ceiling, it rounds out this way, and then it's going to start to round out this way before it finally takes us up to the second floor. So come on up here. Arriving at the top of the steps, now the ceiling is sloping with the pitch of the roof, and this brings us to a small landing space. Now there is a closet over here, and we're not really going to peek in this. The owners are currently refabricating a door because this house was of course built before standardization, so the door has to be custom to fit this space. Now, if we go off to this side, this brings us into the first bedroom that we're going to see up here. And of course, this space is absolutely massive. We can see that it is set up currently with 2 beds. One thing I want us all to notice is where the ceilings curve. Once again, this is drywall, so this was an incredibly laborious process to get it to look like plaster and also to get it to curve just like this. Now that we've seen this bedroom, let's go ahead and make our way out. And before we leave, I do want to point out, it does have a full-size closet right here. And once again, we're not going to peek in there today. So come on through here, and we're now going to pass through the landing and go directly ahead of us through this framed archway. And this brings us to another just kind of little like landing space. And in here is another full bathroom. It has a full shower, it has a toilet, a vanity. And once again, the ceiling is sloping with the pitch of the roof. So let's just take a peek around this. Coming out of the bathroom, we're going to walk into the final bedroom that's up here. And currently this is set up as a home office, so we can really appreciate all of the dynamic ceilings in here. So we can see that it matches both the side gable and the front gable. And let's just kind of take a moment to see all of this. So over here, this is really interesting. These ceilings, they come out to meet at a point and then they continue up once again to the more dominant gable in the house. And if we travel around this way, there's another closet set up at the end here, and then the dormer window that we saw in front, that's represented right here by this low window. Over to this side is another closet that is just kind of recessed back into the space. So we won't really explore that. Once again, the owners have personal items back there, but let's go check out the basement. Come on. As we make our way down these steps, we're now going to cut back through the living room and through the hall, and this is going to take us towards the basement. And the first thing that we see here is how the barrel vaulted ceiling transforms into a slope. So this is now taking us underneath the steps. And as we pass through here, the handrail is getting more intricate. Notice the top of it here, how it has been carved. And behind me here is a door that takes us out to the driveway, and we'll go explore this very last. But first, let's go on through here. Now, making our way down to the basement, we come through this door that blends in with the beadboard, and there's something really fascinating. If we look up This is all solid concrete. So it's thought that this could have possibly been a bomb shelter at one point. Of course, this was built in 1939. The world was kind of in chaos with World War I transitioning into World War II. And then shortly after that was, of course, the Cold War. So when this was added, we aren't exactly sure, but it's just incredibly fascinating that this is basically one giant bomb shelter underneath the entire house, and the entire house is supported by this concrete shell. And over to this side is a hearth. So we can see it still has its original cast iron inset, and this is very true to the period of 1939 when this house was built. And there's the dentile molding that runs underneath the mantelpiece. Very, very classic for this time period. Now, as we transition over here, there is a built-in bar, and we can see the theme of beadboard continuing to wrap around the bar piece here with a solid wood countertop that has been painted. And there's a lot of space back here actually, and there's even a wine cooler. Now, passing out of here, they have this set up as like a little living space. And as we continue on, there's a box column with built-in seating right here. And this whole basement, it surprisingly has a lot of natural light coming into it, and it feels very airy and open. And of course, being that it's solid concrete, I cannot hear the construction going on next door right now. So that's just really interesting. Now over here is another door, and we'll just take a moment to appreciate this. The latch on here is the original hardware going to the beadboard door, and there's more storage back here, and this continues throughout the rest of the back of the house, but we won't actually go back there and see it right now. Now that we've seen the entire basement, let's go check out the backyard. So we come back up halfway through the flight of stairs, and the side door is going to take us out to the drive. Let's go check it out. And walking out here, we can get a wonderful view of all of these beautiful bricks, and we can see that we have blonde bricks with charred bricks mixed with all sorts of different colors. And this, once again, very accurate for the time period. So let's walk on back this way. Now, looking around the backyard, we can see that the driveway takes you straight to a 2-car garage. And there is even a public easement that runs along the side that helps you to cut through this neighborhood. Joe, it has been such an amazing experience touring this home. This really is a treasure here in University Hills and University City. Thank you again so much for opening up the doors here.
Absolutely, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out this beautiful home in University Hills of University City. If you have any additional questions, feel free to contact me. Information will be provided below. My name is Joe Hostman with RE/MAX Results.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time on This House.